8:21, you're watching Herald Now on your Friday morning, and joining us for our political daily panel today is Carmen Vicelich, Velocity founder and global CEO. Phil Goff, former Auckland Mayor and Labour leader, is at the desk too. Good morning.
Morning.
Good to see you.
Friday.
Happy Friday. Good to see you both. Now, we're going to get a free... It sounds pretty good, like we're going to get a free trade deal with India before the election, which is what Luxon promised us.
Yeah.
But, I mean... You can't call it a comprehensive one if it doesn't have dairy in it, can you?
No, it's not like the free trade agreement I negotiated with China, which had everything and has no barriers. I think it was a mistake putting in your election promise that you're going to negotiate a free trade agreement in your first term, because you put all the negotiating power with the other side.
100%.
They know that you're up against the wall and you have to meet this promise.
I totally agree with you.
So that was a mistake.
But also, if they get it across the line, it doesn't include dairy, then voters will go, well, maybe that's because you were going after a speed, a quick and dirty deal.
Nobody else has got dairy,
No.
and dairy is our major export. But that's not to say we shouldn't have a free trade agreement. This is the 5th biggest economy in the world, and will become the 3rd biggest economy in the world. So we need to do something with them.
You don't
but
look a gift.
It's got to be to both.
You don't
both
look a gift horse in the mouth, but also. There are other industries other than dairy that will hugely benefit.
100%. So, as you know, I'm a big advocate of India. It's the fastest growing economy in the world, and before that it wasn't cool and no one wanted to do anything with India. So to see the focus from the government on building the relationship and actually enabling so many companies, when you think of all the other industries, primary, but not just primary, for us as a tech company, the credibility of the relationships with ministers and with government to government is phenomenal and incredible. So I think it's hugely, hugely exciting, and obviously a big promise and a big challenge. But then, they've been there many, many times, and obviously went with the Prime Minister earlier this year. They're really, really making a difference in building that relationship. So it's not to say that something won't come, but they haven't done it with anybody.
No one gets dairy out of India, basically, right? Phil, when you were negotiating with the Chinese to get that deal done, what was their position on dairy? Like, how did you talk about it?
That was a sticking point, and I was negotiating with a guy called Bo Xilai, who was a Politburo member, who's now in prison, actually. That's the way the Chinese political system works.
Shouldn't have signed that FTA with Phil.
Yeah. But I remember him through his interpreter.
Move away from him.
Through his interpreter, leaning across the table and saying, China is really worried about your powerful dairy industry. And I started laughing. And he looked quizzically at the interpreter and said, why is the minister laughing? And he asked me that. And I said, you are representing a country of 1.3 billion people. I'm representing a country of less than 5 million people, and you're worried about our powerful industry. He saw the funny side of that, and we got the dairy agreement. It was phased in, but now dairy is entirely tariff-free and without constraint.
It was one of the most transformational things to happen to this country's trade in its history.
I think I earned my income as a politician in getting that one over the board.
Well, you got a lot wrong, Phil.
Just to bring him down.
Oh God! Just when I'm being triumphalist, and you bring me down to the earth like that. That's so unfair.
But I think trade, and actually it just shows the importance of this and the progress and the momentum.
100%.
Because
Now, let's talk about Gloriavale. So the government today might shut down Gloriavale School, and look, whenever these Gloriavale stories come up, I think, it looks a little weird, a little different. You hear, some of the court cases, you think that's wrong. But I don't know what it's like in there on a day-to-day basis, Phil. So should the state be getting involved in shutting down schools?
Well, when you have two leaders that have both been convicted of sexual offending against kids, yes, the state should be involved, and the Ministry of Education has to maintain the standard of education. And they said of the 8 points that normally we would follow in registering a private school, you don't meet 6 of them. There are 468 kids there under the age of 15.
Shut it down.
Growing up in a cult where they don't get any influence from the outside world. That can't be a good thing. So if it doesn't meet the standards, shut it down. But what will happen is, of course, they'll then probably be homeschooled. They may not be a lot better off.
Yeah, what could even be potentially worse, I suppose, if Well, they just keep the school kind of going and do the homeschool option.
Well, they could. The other option would be to lift the school to meet the standards, but it has been unable to do that to date, and the overall environment isn't safe, according to the Ministry of Education.
What do you think about it? Do you have any opinions?
Well, I'm like you. I can't imagine how bad it must be. But also, Phil has a valid point that, with that happening, you can't just let it go.
No, you can't.
You have to step in. I think it kind of raises a broader issue around infrastructure. And when you do, development and growth, you need to actually provide the infrastructure of options for the children. Because if you think, well, okay, where else are they going to go? To your point, and there's nothing. So, it seems to be that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
And we see that, like even in Kumu, they built a whole community. And the nearest high school was drive all the way to Massey or drive all the way to Helensville. There's literally nothing in that entire community for a high school. So I think that's the broader issue to think about, which obviously is a big topic around
Where's your schools? They do have coming next year, we interviewed the head of it, a new charter school, which you probably won't like, Phil, but a new charter school that's all online, so they encourage people anyway.
And at least those have got global standards though, and you think of some of the things that Crimson's doing and Cambridge, at least that is like a consistent standard that they're going to get a certain level of education.
Absolutely true. Now, forget people's sexiest man alive. This is the sexiest bald man alive competition, apparently. The Reboot online PR company got data analysts to look at several variables to decide what's sexy in a bald man, from the golden ratio and bald shine to sexy searches on Google. This year, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has been named the sexiest bald man of 2025, dethroning Prince William. What shocked me, though, is that Jeff Bezos got a special mention with 48,000, this is obviously William, but there he is, 48,000 sexy Jeff Bezos Google searches. I mean, he's rich, isn't he? Yeah. So that's got to count for something.
Don't ask me, ask
My husband is a tall, dark, handsome, bald man, so I have an affinity for that. But I would say it's not just the baldness that contributes to the sexiness, surely, if you look at The Rock. So, and yeah, I'm with you on Jeff Bezos. I'm not sure. No offence to Jeff.
No, a bit weird. But also, funny how these competitions, because remember for ages, they were sort of not a PC thing to do.
Yeah.
Remember, you would, well, especially if it was anything about women, you know, like
cosmopolitan.
Yeah, they would rank the top 10 sexiest or whatever, and then there was a period where they went away. But just interesting that they've come back now.
Yeah. Oh, whatever moves people. I think with Bezos, money is a powerful aphrodisiac.
Take your word for it, Phil.
Carmen Vicelich from Velocity and Phil Goff, former Auckland Mayor, with us this morning.
Talking important things.
So important things. Important things and frivolous things. Appreciate you both being here this morning. Thank you. Friday, 8:30, let's get to news.